Okay, the end of another long weekend, Memorial Day weekend. Right now what we're looking at is on the back end of our property. This is the sunflowers that we are growing, possibly to sell. We have 3 rows of 50 flowers each. So we have, this row is plum, so it's like a plum colored sunflower with like a dark center. This one's called Pro White Night, so it's a white sunflower with a brown center. And this row is going to be a traditional sunflower. It's also a Pro Cut. It's got the yellow leaves with the traditional brown center. They all grow to about between 36 and 48 inches in height. We chose them because they have single stems. They don't have branching off, which can often make it hard to put them in a vase. So we chose these for that reason, and also because they're going to be pretty much the same size, which should look very nice in an arrangement. So the fencing was all done last weekend. That took half the day, putting up all these stakes, pounding them in, and then putting up the wire. We have it currently just wrapped around this pole, and Lucas is going to be making a door for it so that I will be able to come and go through this. This is the entrance right here. Hopefully the deer won't try to jump over it. So today was basically clearing out all of the dried up sod that was in here, digging the trench where the plants were going to go, putting in some nutrients. We put in some compost, and I put in some eggshells that I've been saving now for about a year to help. And then, like I said, put in 50 plants in each row and then watered it. I do have, right now, you can probably see strings running along the top here. That's just to kind of help me know where plants are, because obviously things are going to grow up around as well. We're going to try to keep the weeds down as much as we can. We're going to be bringing out some of the chicken chips from the coop from last year that have now been waiting a year, and they are safe now to go on the ground. So we might try to use those in between the rows to help kind of keep down weeds and also amend the soil. It's very good for the soil. So currently I had to truck all the water down here, and by the time I was finished, this entire project today was 7 hours. Taking breaks because it was unbelievably hot today, but it is complete, which makes me very happy. So I'm not going to head over to the pumpkin area yet because the bugs are out now pretty thick, and it's actually even further back on the property. But I know a couple of people had wanted to see some more of the property, so just going to kind of quickly show you, a few of the things that we have along the way up to the main part of the property. So over there you can see like a raised bed that Lucas made. We have one of these big water collection tanks. I'm not sure if we're going to use it for collecting water or not. We do have 2 other receptacles that we purchased that we are going to put up for down here so we can have rain collection so that we won't have to truck water down here. This is the rhino that Lucas used to till the fields, and it worked great. Absolutely fantastic. Just kind of panning around. Obviously needs to be mowed. And we have trees down in places too, unfortunately. We have a lot of tree clearing to do from previous storms. And something interesting that I saw today, Lucas was worried that nobody was going to use his house this year because he hadn't seen anybody in it. But today I saw a mom and a dad bluebird coming and going from it. So we're going to have babies there. So heading up to the main part of the house and the property, we call this the big trail. And it's a constant battle to keep things that are growing along here back and out of the way. You really can't let it go a season without cutting it back. It's got a nice rock wall along here, kind of rough, but at some point we would like to extend it because it's obviously come down in places, but that's probably for retirement. So coming up here, sorry for the noise, we're about to come up by Route 40. You'll be able to see on the left, these are the two rain barrel collection receptacles, whatever we want to call them, that we're going to use for down there. And then coming around here, you can see the house. And we've been, once again, clearing out a lot of brush and burning a lot of brush, but now it's been so hot, can't really burn right now. So we're going to come around here to where the coop is, and I'll show you that rain barrel setup that Lucas put together. And this works great. In fact, I pretty much emptied it today because the plants needed so much water. But basically it's just, you remove this from its holder. It's got a little on-off. Put a bucket down, gravity feeds it. It collects from the chicken coop on both sides and feeds in. I think I knocked something down today. Something looks like it's missing. Anyways, so that's that. Then thought I would take you inside the coop today to show you the current setup, because today's the day that Stormy and Artemis joined their sisters who are 2 weeks older than them. And you'll see that Stormy's panting. It's so hot. And it's supposed to get down to low 50s tonight, so I am probably going to actually leave their windows open because it's been such a hot day, and I think that it would be good for them to get cooled off. So there's windows on both ends so that air can flow. The big girls are thinking about coming in. They have their nest box over here. They have indoor water, indoor food. Always have food and water for all of your chickens, indoors and outdoors. Hi Artemis. Hi Stormy. I think they're also a little stressed out because this is their first time in the coop, and I think they just have no clue what's going on. Yep. So you probably noticed that the walls get nasty. If you ever see any of those chicken coops on Pinterest and they are nice and white and clean, they don't get used. No chicken coop looks like that, except maybe on day one. But by then it's over. Is everybody coming in? We're gonna call it a day. It's a little early. I think they just think that I have Ritz crackers for them, which I don't. So anyways, so that's the inside of the coop. They have a divider here for now, and as soon as we feel that they're ready, we'll remove the divider, and then they'll all be able to be in here together, but you have to do it in steps. And we're going to shut that to keep the sun out, because the sun is coming down. It's going to shine right in there and just heat it up. For now, there's Crazy Harlow. I'm going to leave Harlow out until it gets a little darker, because I don't want him kind of freaking out over having those two new girls in the coop and causing problems. He's been a good boy so far, but he definitely likes to herd the girls and get after them. Still thinking of rehoming him, hopefully. We'll see. Hey, Harlow. Hi, baby. And other than that, it really was just a day of getting caught up on things because I was in Oneida with family. But the garden is looking fantastic, and the hollyhocks are actually getting ready to open up, as you can see. They may open earlier than I think they normally do. I found out recently that hollyhocks take 2 years to bloom, and this is year 2, and then after they bloom, they die, and you just have to tear them out. Did not know that. A little bummed. But they're looking good. The hydrangeas coming back from the frost that it got. gladiolas are popping up. The dahlias are coming up. So that looks good. I've already been able to use a lot of this lettuce that I'm growing in these containers for the rabbits. So that's growing really well. And go around the back side. So the back of the property is primarily filled with lilacs along this front here. So these lilacs, which are white, dark purple, we have doublets and triplets. These lilacs go all along this entire stretch of the property. And it's wonderful to smell in May when they all bloom, pretty much around the exact same time. The ones that are southernmost, those bloom the fastest. And then they kind of go northward. So we'll be cutting them back a little bit now that they're starting to die back, the flowers are. And when I left for Oneida, these were not open, but now these are all, I think they're called bearded lilies. And these were on the property when we bought it, in different places. I've moved them around because they tend to propagate so quickly that you have to keep breaking them apart and moving them. These are more hollyhocks. These are a different type of iris. Similar, just different shade. Those are coming up. And the peonies are going to be awesome this year because they are so full. All of them are full. More of the irises, more peonies, more peonies. And more peonies. And these are all pink, but this one bush is white. And I don't know what you are, but you don't belong here. Boy, he's in there good. I'll pull him later. He's got a friend. So these should be ready. I would say within a couple weeks these will be blooming. And they do the same thing. They start off, these white ones bloom first, and then in succession, the pinks along here. This is just the shelter for the tractor. At some point, we'll be putting up a pole barn, but for now, this works excellent. We've loved it. We've had it now for, I think this is the 3rd year, and it's been great. And then I think the last thing I'm going to show you is, I think I mentioned that my magnolia that we bought about a month ago and came beautiful started to develop white mold on the leaves, and then we got frost and it destroyed every leaf on it. I had to cut every leaf off from this tree, but my coworker says it will survive. So we've been watering it heavily, and I can already see buds starting to come on it again in green. So I think she's right, and I'm very happy because I've always wanted a magnolia. And I would hate for us to have to dig him up. So I think that's it for tonight. I hope everyone had a really wonderful weekend and enjoyed the long weekend. I know we did. It's always super hectic, but at the end of the day, it was all worth it. Nothing better than being with family. Good night, Lucas.